What's up, everybody? Thank you for tuning in to the BS Show. Brett here, and I wanted to talk about really the hottest topic in MMA and probably all of combat sports, and that is, what's next for the notorious Conor McGregor? If we rewind a couple weeks, maybe a month or so now, he beat Donald Cerrone in the first minute, looked very good doing it. I don't even think he messed up his hair, to be honest. So, the guy could fight really whenever he wanted, as soon as he wanted. So I don't know what's next. We hear chatter from everything from getting a rematch with Khabib if he beats Tony Ferguson. We hear he's going to fight Justin Gaethje. We hear he's going to cross over and fight Manny Pacquiao in a boxing match. We hear really about anything and everything possible. But my question is what makes sense? He really wants that Khabib rematch. And Khabib has been very publicly saying, no, I'm not fighting him. At first it was, there's no amount of money in the world that you could pay me to fight him. Then it turned into pay me $100 million and I'll fight him. So there's a lot of speculation as to what's going on. But I don't know. I think the obvious answer is Justin Gaethje. That's the most obvious to me. The guy doesn't have a fight. He's a big-name fighter. He just stopped Cowboy Cerrone, too, in the first round. He's beaten a lot of big-time fighters in the UFC in the 155-pound division. He's a great striker. He's a great wrestler. He puts on a great show. Everybody that watches Justin Gaethje fight says that it's fun to watch. And that would be right up Conor McGregor's wheelhouse. If he wants to fight somebody who's going to stand there and bang with him, there's your man, Justin Gaethje. But for whatever reason, that doesn't seem to be happening. I don't want to say that Conor McGregor is trying to duck these tough fights, but there has been some speculation in the MMA world that he does try to duck the real tough fights, and he tries to pick off the fights that he thinks he would be successful in, which is probably why he hasn't called out a Justin Gaethje, which is why he hasn't called out a Tony Ferguson. Those are both long fighters that put on a lot of pressure and have great striking, and they're not afraid to get down and dirty. So, what does the BS show want to see? I'm not really sure because I don't have Steven here with me, but I'm sure Steven would probably agree with me. I want to see him fight Gaethje. I want to see Conor McGregor start beating some of these top-tier fighters that are in their prime, that are extremely dangerous, that Conor McGregor could, say, hey, I'm beating top 5 guys. I'm not taking anything away from Cowboy Donald Cerrone, that he's one of my favorite fighters of all time. But let's be honest here, the guy's batting 500 as of late, if not worse. He's in the latter end of his career. I just don't think that Donald Cerrone has the magic that he once did, and I'm not taking anything away from him. I love Donald Cerrone. He's one of the legends in the sport. But at this particular moment, I just don't think he's in his prime anymore. I think Tony Ferguson is. I think Justin Gaethje is. I think, fighters like them that can give Conor McGregor a serious fight, that they're very, very dangerous. I think that's what Conor McGregor needs to really cement his legacy in this sport. And why he doesn't take those fights, I don't know. And maybe it has a little bit to do with Dana White. But I just hate seeing Conor McGregor really kind of get these, I wouldn't say easy fights, but he's getting these fights that he's probably got a pretty good shot to win and then immediately gets a title fight. Why don't we put him through the meat grinder like a lot of these other guys have been? Justin Gaethje's been through the meat grinder. Tony Ferguson has been through the meat grinder, So why don't we make Conor McGregor do the same thing? I understand he's already beaten Dustin Poirier. That was I think at 45, though. I understand that he's got a lot of great wins on his resume. I'm not taking anything away from McGregor, but when you look at these guys who really, really give him a tough fight, they're long, they're lanky, they're active, they're great striking, they're great kickboxing, they're great wrestling. Why are we not letting Conor McGregor showcase his skills against those guys? So now I wouldn't be opposed to, if Khabib and Ferguson fight, Tony Ferguson wins. I wouldn't be opposed to seeing McGregor fight Tony Ferguson. I understand it would be for the belt, but I wouldn't be against it. I just want to see Conor McGregor fight the best guys in the world. I want to see Conor McGregor fight Jorge Masvidal. I want to see McGregor fight Tony Ferguson. I want to see him fight Gaethje. I want to see him fight these guys that he says he can beat, but yet they never come to fruition. So, I don't know what's next. I don't know what the UFC brass is working on. I don't know what the UFC brass has in mind. Conor McGregor has said he would do anything from fighting Manny Pacquiao and all the way to going up to the 170-pound division and fighting Kamaru Usman, which would not be a good idea for him, in my opinion. But you know what? If that's what he wants to do, let him do it. But let's start giving Conor McGregor dudes that are in their prime right now, that are at the top of the division, so we can really see what Conor McGregor's about. So we can really see how much better Conor McGregor's gotten. So we can really see if he's the GOAT like he claims he is. So that's kind of my take on this whole thing is there's a lot of speculation going on, but there's no clear-cut answer other than he says he wants Khabib. But I don't think anybody else wants that. We've seen Conor McGregor fight Khabib. We've seen McGregor get mauled for 4 rounds. He had one decent round, if you even want to give him one. But for the most part, Khabib dominated that entire fight. So why do we want to see that again? He hasn't beaten anybody. He beat Donald Cerrone. Donald Cerrone's not even, top 5 in that division? Is he even ranked in the 155-pound division? So, let's be real here. Let's give Conor McGregor some tough guys that are in their prime right now. They're not over the hill. They didn't used to be good. They're not champions from 5 to 8 years ago. Let's give Conor McGregor somebody who is great right now. And I think if he wants to stay in the 155-pound division, that is a Justin Gaethje fight. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Who do you want to see McGregor fight next? Does he deserve a title fight? Would you be interested in seeing him doing a crossover bout with Manny Pacquiao? Or do you want to see him move up to 170 and fight Jorge Masvidal, fight Kamaru Usman, fight whoever? Let me know in the comments below, guys. Thank you for tuning in.